Good morning, and welcome back into Winslow's world for a slight experiment, if you will. We're going to take the church warden again, since we got a lot of comments about it, and a suggestion. So I'm going to take a suggestion from one of the presenters here, and his channel is called Old and in the Way. So he suggested that I take this pipe and a flake or a coin. I don't have any coins, so I got some different flakes. And so I took some H Burley flake, and he suggested to take and try to ball it up, roll it up in a ball, and something a little bit bigger than the bowl of the pipe right here, and to put it in there slightly below the rim and try that. So I've got it packed here, and I'm going to give it the first light, and we're going to see how it goes. Now, I hope this is not boring, okay? If it is, that's right. We're just experimenting now, so everything I've ever done with this pipe right here, I've always got tongue bite. And somebody suggested a filter, and I tried to show this stem in right here. Okay, I'm gonna see if this match will go in. This match can't go any. I can't. I can stick a kitchen match in the end of that filter. See that? And the end of the stem. This first thing in the morning, really, this is my study time. This reading is probably going to be boring to you. And I don't usually do any talking before I go to study the scriptures because I want God to talk to me instead of somebody else. But anyway, we're breaking up the routine today. So somebody suggested putting a filter into that thing. Well, I want you to tell me what kind of filters you're going to get that's going to be smaller, and that right there is going to go up in. So you don't take a filter. So anyway, all right. Well, all right. We'll get the stem on. All right now, and ever how well it holds there. Boy, I'm getting tobacco in there in my mouth. And as usual, the first pack, when you first get it lit and everything, why it always tastes good. Whatever you put in it. Okay, let me. And he suggested to lightly tamp it, which just gonna try to get this top ash. You know how it does. Try to get this top ash down here. That's what I'll do. I put some big flame to it. The way when you pack it that way, you sure can get the backer in your mouth. For the sake of you folks that are watching, I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to pause it. The only reason being is because I want to see what this does. And we're going to give this a fair going over, okay? So I'm going to pause it and then I'll get back if I can get it to work. I'm not real tech savvy. And so that's the reason I guess I've quit doing entering galls because people told me how to go about putting the thing on there, and I don't know how to fool with that. So there's enough people on there to enter people's galls without me doing it. So I don't know how to do all of this here modern stuff. So anyway, you forgive me. I'm gonna try to pause this. If this don't work, if I could have edited what I just said, I would have. I'm gonna pause this, and we'll come back for some more real time. Okay. How do I pause it? What do? It's been so long since I tried. I think it's that. Okay, back again now. Well, I've sat here long enough to read and study Matthew chapter 18 and 19. While I sat here and tried to slow smoke this pipe, this church warden. And I must say that you can teach an old dog new tricks, okay? Meaning that the way I went about packing this pipe as suggested by the presenter of the channel, Old and in the Way, and if I knew his first name, I'd call it, but I don't know. Okay. But anyway, so packing it the way that he suggested to pack it and everything and slow smoke it. And I tried to, my mouth don't fit that way. I tried to just hold it on the end and just sort of, but I can't get any enjoyment that way. So I had to do it the way that I usually do. And I didn't try to clench it because there ain't much, I mean, it just, and I got no bit on the end of it, so it just slides around in my teeth. So I sat here and held it, propped up like, well, okay, I'll just show you. Just sort of where my elbows on this chair like this, sitting here reading. You see all that, don't you? And if that light back there is bothering y'all, it helps me to see. May not help y'all to see. So anyway, I'm just sitting here. And so now I've got down to where I've got just about that much left in this bowl. So I'm just almost down to where it's just wet dottle. I heard it gurgle one time. Usually it gurgles more. And so I'm going to experiment later on, not today, some other time. I won't forget this. So I'll experiment later on with different other type of tobaccos about rolling it up into a ball and trying to put it in there, just putting a ball in there without trying to pack it like I usually do. I tell you, usually I pack it and if I don't have a filter in it, and there's some pipes I put filters in and most of them I don't. But anyway, if you don't use a filter, I try to pack it in a certain way where there's a little resistance in the draw. I'm testing it while I'm packing it. And there's a little resistance in the draw. And then when I get to that certain spot, that's when I light it up. So evidently with this particular pipe right here, then I guess you're going to have to put it in a ball and see how that works. So anyway, better success with it. Now the tongue bite. Now I tell you, right here. And I don't mean to be gross you out with my tongue, but right in there. Okay, that's where, not on the tip end, not way in the back, not the roof of the mouth. You say, well, what's tongue bite like? Well, get you a pipe and smoke it. That's probably not a good thing to say. You can tell I hadn't thought this much stuff through. But anyway, so that's where it got me at. And it's not real bad. It's just warm like. And I've been trying to sip my coffee over here a little along too. And the coffee, it compliments of Central Cal Piper. Thank you, David. And so, anyway, and it's better. So to take up 10 minutes of your time to let you know how the experiment went with this pipe, that's how it's gone. So I like it better the way that I packed it. So we'll experiment some other times with some other blends, and I'm gonna try some of them what you call ribbon cut by balling it up in a ball if I can get it to stay good enough and put that in. I'm gonna try that sometime or another and see how that works and see if the flake is different. And I'd say what you got with that flake, you got these, well, it's broken flakes. Okay, you got some airspace around, so evidently this little pipe here needs more airspace. So anyhow, I'm gonna get off here. Be good.